6 Sterling Street in the borough, and I'm here on behalf of the faith leaders of Newtown Borough with a concern about the proposed new time shift for the holiday parade requested by the planners on Sunday, December 7th. This letter is a request to keep the time of the holiday parade at 2 p.m. as it's been in years past versus the proposed time of 11 a.m. Our faith community, and I'm from Newtown Friends meeting, holds services on Sunday morning. Ours begins at 11, and it depends on silence for an hour, and the ministry comes out of that silence. Other faith leaders, they also have an 11 a.m. start time. And it also, it's a sacred time for so many of us. And also, we're concerned about the road closures starting at 8 a.m. on that day. How will people get to their church or their parish? So, and the other thing is that a lot of families are going to have to choose whether to participate in the parade or to go to church that day or go to their faith institution. So many of us moved to the borough because of the quaint, quiet, more low-key lifestyle, and doubling the size of the parade, moving the time from one that has honored people's faith practice. I just don't feel like that fits who we are. So this letter has been signed by Newtown Friends Meeting, St. Luke's Episcopal Church, St. Mark's AME Zion Church, and Macedonia Baptist Church. Thank you.
Thanks, Barb. Do we have any additional public to be heard? Okay, having none, we'll move on to certificates of appropriateness. Chris, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. The question is, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Are you ready for certificates of appropriateness?
I am. If that's okay, I'll read them from here. I apologize, I cannot be there this evening.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is certificates of appropriateness, and I move to follow the recommendations of the Historic Architectural Review Board and direct the President of Council to sign the following certificates of appropriateness, thereby approving the historical appropriateness of the applications, with final approval by the Code Enforcement Officer. First one is COA 2025-015. This applicant is Alejandra Alvarez, 154 North Congress Street, a residence. The applicant is seeking a certificate of appropriateness for the replacement of the existing vinyl siding and addition of a fence in the backyard. HARB recommended approval of the application as submitted, noting that the siding will be a smooth, hardy plank with a 4.5 to 5 inch exposure to be used on the house and the addition. The second application is COA 2025-027. This applicant is Martiza Barantes, 109 Mercer Street. It's the Saunders residence. The applicant is seeking a certificate of appropriateness for a full replacement. HARB recommended approval of the application as submitted. Number 3, we have COA 2025-030. Applicant is D. Scott Miller, 304 Edgeboro Drive, also a residence. The applicant is seeking a certificate of appropriateness for replacement of a deck with a Trex deck at the back of the house, replacement of the roof on the house, the garage, and the shed, and replacement of the garage siding with board and batten wood siding. HARB recommended approval of the application as submitted. Next is COA 2025-032. This applicant is Eileen Dutton, 300 Edgeboro Drive, a residence. The applicant is seeking a certificate of appropriateness for the repair of the existing retaining wall with similar material, the removal of the existing deck, and the addition of a walkway from the existing brick pad to existing stairs. HARB recommended approval of the application as submitted. Finally, COA 2025-033. The applicants are William and Judith Fellows, 149 North State Street, a residence. The applicant is seeking a certificate of appropriateness for the construction of a pergola over a new patio behind the house. Harb recommended approval of the application as submitted.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions from council on these applications? Are any of the applicants here, and if they are, would they like to speak? Okay. Any public comment? All those in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion passes. Thanks, Chris.
Welcome.
Moving on to the fire report, Chief Forsyth.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I submitted my monthly report to council. We had 13 emergency responses in Newtown Borough. We completed 10 fire safety inspections. I would like to introduce our Deputy Chief of the Department, Roy LaRosa is with me tonight, so if you see him, you'll recognize him, and he's always around town, so I wanted to bring some of the guys out to introduce them to you.
Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Just a couple of updates. Next month, October, is our fire prevention month. We will be having an open house on October 4th at this fire station on Liberty Street from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Everyone's welcome to stop by and see our building and see our apparatus. The museum will also be open so you can see our history. And the last thing I have is we're actively recruiting new members. We have 2 members of the department that reside in the borough, so if there's anyone that would like to come out and be a part of our department, we'd be more than happy to have you. So I'd be more than happy to answer any questions, but that's my report for the month of August.
Thanks, Chief. Any questions for Chief from council? Oh, Craig?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Chief. And we can chatter more offline, but I wanted to just inquire because, you know, we're working our budget this year with the township on our revised agreement. And with the balance of volunteers versus paid, is there data that would say when there's a call, how many of each go out?
Sure.
I'm trying to get a handle on just understanding that. But
Sure, just reach out and we can get
follow
that
up with
information.
some
No problem at all.
things.
Yep,
Okay, great. Thanks, Chief.
no problem. Have a good night.
You too. All right, police report, Chief Sabbath.
Evening, Council, Mayor, guests. Police Department during the month of August answered 254 calls for service. We continued with our aggressive driving campaign, which began in the middle of July and ended in the middle of August. For the month of August, we conducted 130 traffic stops, which resulted in 33 warnings, yet 97 citations, majority of those for speeding and for red light violations. We had 4 traffic accidents during the month. Only one had injury. That was a 3-car pileup on Washington Ave. Driver was stopping for a pedestrian, and the driver 2 cars behind did not see the driver stopping for a pedestrian, and a chain reaction accident occurred. 18-year-old woman from Warminster was transported to St. Mary's with non-life-threatening injuries. We had a couple of vehicles entered, part of a little crime spree that was occurring over the night of August 14th. Newtown Township, Lower Makefield, had numerous cars entered. We did have 2, one that was on Chancellor and one that was on Elm. We encourage residents to lock their cars at night because, they're not breaking into cars. They're just simply looking for vehicles that are unlocked, and then going through and rifling through the glove compartment, seeing what they could find. We arrested a 61-year-old Newtown Borough man when he was found passed out on Court Street. He was transported to St. Mary's Hospital for severe intoxication, and he was later cited. Number of juvenile incidents on Frost Lane with cars or houses being egged eventually led into an assault involving several juveniles as well. As Emily had stated, this is the 20-year anniversary of the death of Officer Brian Gregg. He still remains as the last officer who was actually murdered in Bucks County. We've had several officers that we've lost, in the line of duty, but he was the last officer that was actually murdered by someone. So we will be having a graveside service for him on the morning of his death, which is the 29th. So we'll be having a graveside service. The mayor's, helped us out with, arranging some things as far as getting a bagpiper, and, so we'll be inviting, council obviously be invited, as well as, neighboring departments to, commemorate his passing. So
Do you have a time for that?
it's 9 a.m.
Thank you, Chief. Does anyone have any questions for Chief? Thank you.
I actually did have a comment regarding the e-bikes.
So, as Mr. Brillwood stated, that, what he's referring to is pedicycles, bicycles. The e-bikes are still not allowed on the road. They're not allowed on the sidewalks. They're not allowed anywhere because they're considered vehicles. They're not pedicycles.
So I did actually see a couple young men on e-bikes zipping down towards State Street in the evening. So I'm just to let you know that they are around on the sidewalk. I almost ran after them and said, you can't be here, but they were too fast.
Yeah, they're too fast for me to run after, too. No. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Okay, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. I guess the first motion I'm looking for is a motion to table,
Untable.
untable the motion that was tabled, the Newtown Holiday Parade, sponsored by Newtown Business Association on Sunday, December 7th at 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Julia, you tabled it. Do you want to untable it?
Yes, I'll make a motion to take the motion to table the Newtown Holiday Parade off the table.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Okay, I will open up the discussion. I believe we have Dan here, the parade organizer. Julia organized a list of questions that we sent Dan with some of our concerns that he answered via email. So I ask council now if you have any remaining outstanding questions or comments. I know for me, I think the big thing is the start time, just because of the religious services going on in town. One, a block away from the start of the parade that actually worships in silence for an hour. So that's my main concern, is the start time. I open up to council for other comments or questions or concerns.
Do we want to ask Dan?
Well, I mean, if you have a question for him, he can come up. Yeah, I wasn't going to ask him to come up if there was no.
So I did appreciate that, Dan, that you did send responses to the questions. Yes, I also agree with Emily. The start time is of a big issue. I thought that we could clarify a few other things before getting back to that. You say about halfway down that you are presuming that the parade portion in the borough is about 2 hours long now. And yet there is this wide range. Can you kind of walk that schedule through for us, like of all the activities that you're anticipating, whether they're in the borough or outside the borough?
Yeah, just like every year, we march up the borough, we gather in the borough, we go up, we turn left at Washington, and then we go up Sycamore Street. So by the time everybody's left Sycamore Street or gotten onto Sycamore Street, we're done in the borough.
No, that I understand, but there has been information out there about pre and post parade activities. You said something, I know this is outside the borough.
None of them are in the borough.
No, I understand that. I'm trying to get a handle on all the activities that are all around this parade, because I think it's important for people to understand, because we've gotten different versions, and I know that our permit only regards the actual organization, staging of the parade, and the parade marching through the borough, but I think it's important, given that there was more information in these questions and answers, that you could explain what your understanding or what your view of the schedule for that day is.
Yeah, as far as the borough goes, I mean, I think it was pretty clear in my answers to the questions, but we're planning on starting the parade at 11 o'clock. earlier start time than usual. Of course, we addressed the conversation about, different mass services and how they can be accommodated. And of course, the parade route and closure starting at 10:30, I think, what did we say, 10:30, shouldn't affect how they're getting to mass. But if
Excuse me, very many people in this borough did not attend Mass. So let's just refer to that as church services or whatever you want to say. But what your experience with Mass does not have any, does not apply to everyone who's in the borough. So just tell me, you're going to be staging this parade starting when? When are your participants going to start arriving at the borough, and where do you anticipate you're staging the acts?
So our participants are going to start arriving at 9 o'clock at a private parking lot, Stocking Works. None of them are going to be in the borough. We're not going to shut down the street. We're not going to have any need for the borough until about 10:30, when we shut down the street and we start the parade at 11.
So am I still correct that you're expecting to have a parade that is at least twice as big as previous parades?
As far as participants go, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to have twice as many acts as last year.
Okay.
We've been trying to grow this parade for at least a decade and trying to get it bigger and bigger, and we finally have the funding to do that. So
Okay.
yeah, we're going to.
All right, so I understand that. So I'm understanding that parades in previous years have staged at the Stocking Works parking lot and have also staged at other properties nearby. And then you've mentioned in your answers that you would also be using the Steeple View property for some staging. Is that still correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so I'm just trying to visualize what you're expecting. So you're expecting all the acts are going to show up at 9:30, did you say? 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock, yeah.
9 o'clock at these various locations, and then you're starting a parade at 11, which we're going to talk about shortly. And then you have some kind of activity occurring at the onset of the parade, is that correct?
It's going on throughout, but that's in the township. We're going to.
I'm talking about in the borough. You referred to someone's singing the national anthem at the start of the parade?
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
at
borough?
11 o'clock. Yep.
All right.
They're going to go to Stocking Works and sing the national anthem. Then they're going to go down to the end of the street, or the end of the parade, down at the Green Parrot, sing the national anthem there as well.
When the parade arrives there?
No, before it arrives there. Yeah, they're going to sing at 11 o'clock when we start it off, and then they're going to go down to the end, sing the national anthem, and then the parade is going to proceed down the street, and it'll be about 15, 20 minutes before they get to the end at Green Parrot.
15 or 20 minutes, what, from like the beginning of the parade to get to the Green Parrot?
Yes,
Okay. How many acts are you anticipating now?
about 100,
Okay. And how long do you think that will take?
about 2 hours,
From the beginning to the end?
about 2 hours. We're leaving some wiggle room, but we think it'll be about 2 hours. It shouldn't be more than 2 hours, but we're leaving some wiggle room as far as, approvals go, just in case, some acts decide that they're going to sing an entire song and that whole song is 3 minutes long, and we're moving them on, we're waving them on, and they're not going to do that. But we're thinking 2 hours is plenty of time.
Okay, so is this comparable to, I know the previous parades have been about 2/3 of what you're asking for now, and how long have they taken to get from one end to the other?
Yeah, our previous parades have been about an hour and 15, an hour and 30 minutes at most. And we're running so we're going to be about 2 hours.
Okay. All right, and then you are anticipating activities in the township that are occurring while this parade is going on and at the end of the parade, is that correct?
Yep, we're going to have some tents set up for, free hot chocolate, free candy, stuff for kids to do, face painting, balloons, stuff like that. And we're working with the township police department to make sure that that's all coordinated right there on Silo Drive, right next to where we do the award ceremony and things like that. But yeah, that's our plan.
Okay, so the parade starts in the borough, it goes around through the borough about 2 hours. Simultaneously, you have activities happening in the township on Sycamore Street, and then you have your ending activities.
That's right. You got it.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a question. The answer to one of your questions about security says that you'll be adding multiple private security teams as additional support. Would that be in the borough that you would be doing that?
Yes.
And what
The
would,
borough and the township. Now, in my response, I think I said, yes, though our police, Newtown's finest, is more than capable, we are happy to provide additional security. And we've partnered with a couple of different organizations on bigger events before that we're happy to provide additional security for the borough and the township. Yep.
and what would those additional security people be tasked with doing?
Well, they're gonna coordinate with police department. They're gonna go to the police department and say, what do you need us to do? And so, chief here is gonna direct them, tell them where to go, tell them what they need to do. We got Jason Harris in the township who's gonna be coordinating things on his end, and, we're gonna be at the discretion of the police department. So if they're just standing around, it would be a surprise to me. I think we're at the discretion of the police department in both the borough and the township, and so they're gonna be directed as needed.
Okay.
Gail, do you have any questions?
No, again, it's just the time, which just seems to be an issue, mostly for the Quaker Meeting House there, because you're right there, and it does start at 11. So that's the only issue I would have. Everything else you answered pretty.
In the years past, it started at what time? Remind me, 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock.
Okay, so I wouldn't be opposed to it starting earlier, but not as early as 11, just for the reasons we stated. Would you be willing to compromise? Because, if you start staging and then the parade starts at 12:30, most religious services are done by then. Because that's going to be a really hard sell for us, because we have to respect the wants of our community and our residents in terms of that. So is there any wiggle room on your end for compromise on start time?
Well, for the reasons that I outlined in my responses to your questions, we've found a lot of the participants in the parade are excited about an earlier start time for their purposes. Planning-wise, the sun sets at 4:30 in the winter. I know it's weird to think now, but the sun sets at about 4:30 in the winter. And so pushing all the way back to 12:30 and trying to have wiggle room on both ends. Sure. We're happy to compromise. You said 12:30, would 11:30 be an okay time to push off?
No. That service that meets in silence is over at noon.
How about noon? And they will not even be there until the time that the service gets there. They will walk down the street and they'll be able to see the whole parade.
Well, the issue is that there's multiple faith homes that have services at 11 where people are driving in, they're parking, and it sounds like there will be a lot more people coming in for the parade, looking for that same parking. So I
Well,
think,
we've actually got a contingency plan. We have the entire Council Rock North parking lot ready and reserved for people to park at. In fact, we can stage there if we need to.
most people will try to park close to the parade. Most people will try to take the closest spots that are also the same spots that parishioners are looking for as well. I think 12:30 is a good compromise.
If it's 2 hours, that still gives you 2 hours of wiggle room at the end. Before it gets dark. And if your activities in the township are going on simultaneous to the parade moving through, then people will still have time to experience those activities regardless.
If we push off this parade any further back than noon, then we're going to run into daylight issues. We're going to have issues with the people that are already secured for the parade, who are planning on being in the parade.
So if it were to start at 12:30, are you saying you would lose acts?
I'm saying we would lose daylight for all of the people who are going to the parade as well, as I mentioned in the comments.
Right, but if you said the parade is 2 hours long with some wiggle room, there's still 2 hours of daylight left. That's a lot of wiggle room.
Oh, we're still planning on having a lot of things for everybody else to do other than sit and watch the parade. That's the growth of the parade this year, is it's not just sitting and watching a parade. You've got what we're calling Santa's Village. You can go and experience a lot of fun for the kids, and you can go up and down the street, and there's a lot of things for them to do. We don't want that to conflict with the actual parade. If you're saying that we have to start the parade later and end it sooner, we might be able to
So-
do that, but
All of these things, Santa's Village and everything is in the township, right?
it's in the
So
township.
what time, you've gone through this process with them, correct?
Uh-huh.
And what is your road closure schedule there that they permitted?
It's the same application that we put in for you. We have
So-
all the wiggle time, and we said, if from 8 AM to 5 PM, you allow us to do this parade, we're gonna have the best parade and one of the biggest events that this town has ever seen, and we don't plan on being out on the street past 5 PM at all.
Right, but in theory, if all of this stuff is happening in the township and you have the early road closure, people could go to Santa's Village before the parade starts, during the parade, and after the parade, right?
Sure, but
So-
again, 12:30 to potentially 3 o'clock is very different from what we're communicating to everybody and what we've put out as being the parade.
Well, I understand that, but you've communicated this information before we've even approved the application. So, I mean, that's not really our
Right.
concern. Again, I have no problem with any of the other changes you're making, but the start time is an issue. It's,
And what is the major issue for the start time?
I think we made it clear, it's the religious services in town, including one a block away from Steepleview, from the starting point, that worships in silence until noon. That's something that we can't usurp. That's.
And it's because they're looking for parking.
No,
No,
it's because they're looking to
they're sitting
service.
in silence worshiping for an hour.
Okay.
And the parade is kicking off a block away. They won't be able to be in silence. That's the whole point. So I'm willing to compromise and go to 12:30, but I will not, me personally, I don't feel that any earlier is going to work. And I mean, I think we're willing to vote on that tonight at 12:30. I mean, but if that's not amenable to you, then we don't have to vote. But, I mean, I think that's how we all feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's still an hour and a half.
If you're not able to move from 12:30 to noon based on a church service that, and, by the way, and I think I mentioned it, like, we're both churchgoers. We understand that things like this come up, that there are other avenues, other times for services. I understand that a block away, there's going to be a service happening at the same time that the parade is happening, and they might miss that, and they might have too many things happening at the same
Oh,
time.
excuse me, Dan, I hate to interrupt here, but I read your answer, and you're giving me the same information now you did before. It is not a matter of it inconveniencing the parishioners because they could find another service. Many of these churches do not offer other services, but it is not up to the town and the worshipers to make accommodation for the parade. If they want to choose to attend the parade and not go to church, that's fine, but the churches themselves do not have to accommodate the parade. So we appreciate that you want to put a big event together. We want you to have a successful event. We want it to be an event that people will look forward to the following year because you did a good job and because everything went well. But you cannot, the participants in your parade do not take priority. You're producing an event that's going to be in this town, so you need to accommodate what the town needs. And one of those things is that you need to respect the fact that there are multiple church services happening in the morning. Whether people are attending them or not is their personal decision. But the fact is there are religious services happening, and having the parade earlier will interfere with their ability to have those services. So you need to change the time. If you're unwilling to do that, you won't get approval.
So we're happy to make a motion to start at 12:30, which is still an hour and a half earlier than previous years. Again, we need the wiggle room too. And that 12 to 12:30 is our wiggle room, because that gives people time to finish services, get out of town, get to the parade, whatever they want to do. So we are willing to make a motion to approve the parade with a 12:30 start time with a 11 a.m. staging, road closure, whatever, but the start time remains at 12:30.
Okay, if that's what the borough is willing to do, then we will, we'll plan for a 12:30 start time for the parade, if we do it through the borough. Yeah.
Staging, can we start that process prior to 11? It's quite an endeavor
I'm
to
fine with,
get-
I'm fine with the staging starting as long as you know, are cognizant of the noise. Yeah, the staging can start, as far as I'm concerned, in the private areas of Stocking Works and Steeple View as early as you want.
Okay.
But I think the road closure won't start until probably noon, 11:30 noon, whatever you guys need. I mean, we're just concerned with the start time of the parade and the noise that brings. We're flexible with everything else for the most part.
Okay.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion.
Hang on, I have just a couple of questions as well, if I may.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So again, I'm sorry I'm not there in person this evening. So, and thank you for the information that has been provided. You mentioned that this parade would, how many acts again would be participating?
About 100.
And in previous years here in Newtown, about how many acts were in those parades?
About 50 to 60, at most of 70.
And so will they be bands? Will they be, what type of acts will be added to the parade?
We sent a list in our responses to the question of the things that are being added to the parade. So we've got floats, that's a big one. Floats that different bands can perform on, different acts can sponsor and wave on. But there's going to be a lot of different things in the parade this year.
Well, that's actually what I'm trying to get at in terms of a lot of different things. Is there a theme? Is there a theme to the floats?
Yeah,
Is
there's
it
a
about the
theme this
holiday?
year. For the first time, there's a theme to the floats. We're asking for a holiday classic movie theme for our floats. And so we're asking people to, you know, be the Grinch and be Home Alone. And I don't know, I think Die Hard is a Christmas classic. So I don't know, somebody might dress up as Bruce Willis. But yeah, we have a holiday classic movie theme to the floats this year.
The addition of some characters, superheroes. We have a guy on stilts. We have a robot with LED lights.
Again, from our email,
there's a
bagpipes,
list.
jugglers,
The mummers will be back.
World War II military vehicles, hula hoop girls, LED robots are going to walk in the parade, Girl Scouts, karate schools, baseball teams. There's going to be additions to the parade to make it a great parade.
Well, it sounds like a great parade, and I appreciate you vocalizing the theme and the types of events that are going to be involved. And I just want to make sure that I mean, how do you screen who do they apply, or how do you select? How do you solicit the different acts?
Yeah, so they apply, they go onto a wait list, and we decide whether or not we want them in the parade. If it's going to be a great event, it's going to be with great acts. So the Newtown Business Association has sent out an initial, reserve your spot to our member businesses who have been in it in previous years, and so we're going to welcome that. And everybody else goes through a screening process. What's your holiday movie classic theme on your float? And what is that? How does that align with what we're looking for from the parade this year? But yes, they go through a screening process, rigorous one.
Yeah, that's great, and that's obviously good questions to ask. Do you have standards in terms of what you will and won't select from? If somebody has a religious theme, or somebody has a political theme, or if somebody has this kind of theme or that kind of theme, what's your focus on here in terms of what's appropriate for the parade?
So as far as religious themes go, no, we don't. We are going to screen. We're going to talk about what happens, when your application comes in and what you're doing for the theme. But political theme, we've decided that there's going to be no politics involved in this parade, one side or the other.
That's what I was getting at, so that's fantastic. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Chris. So I'll read the motion because I edited it a little bit just to secure the start time in the motion as well as the road closure. So is 10:30 enough of a start time for staging? If you're starting at 12:30?
I think we'd still like to say 9 o'clock. Some of these people get there.
As long as it is only on private
it's on-
property and
it's
doesn't
on
include the
Stocking
road
Works property.
closure.
So yeah, I think 9 o'clock would be,
Usually
I'd be
needs to
grateful for that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. So okay. So I'll read the motion and then ask someone to move. I would entertain a motion to approve the Newtown Holiday Parade sponsored by the Newtown Business Association on Sunday, December 7th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. with a 12:30 p.m. start time along a designated route. Someone want to move?
So moved.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. I think we've already asked and discussed all of our comments and concerns, so if you don't have anything additional to say, I'll ask for public comment. Tara, come ahead.
My one comment has to do with the timing of the staging on private property versus in the street. The tractors get there fairly early. Usually there's the antique tractors lined up. They may need to get there a little bit earlier. I don't know what their schedule is, but I just want to make sure that if there's vehicles that usually traditionally have lined up at a certain time, that they're still able to do so.
Okay, thank you. And of course, those are things you can coordinate with chief, and as the day unfolds, it's fine. Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to approve the peace pole installation sponsored by the Newtown Rotary Club on Sunday, October 5th, from 2 to 6 p.m. in a designated location at Linton Memorial Park. Rain date is Sunday, October 19th.
So moved.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second?
Thank you. Any comments or questions from council on this application?
Is anyone here from this event?
I don't believe so.
Okay. I was just curious, I'm assuming that the 2 to 6 p.m. is to make sure that the park is available and ready, but what is the actual time of the celebration?
Yeah.
I know it is going to be, they're going to have a choir sing and that kind of stuff, so we can clarify that with them.
Well, I'm curious because I think council's supposed to attend, but I'm interested to know when it actually starts.
Is that something we can clarify after we vote?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. All right, any other comments or questions from council? Any public comment? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes.
Thank you. Looking for a motion to approve the Torah dancing sponsored by the Lubavitch of Bucks County on Tuesday, October 14th, 7:45 to 8:45 p.m. on State Street between Green Street and Washington Avenue with no rain date.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second?
Thank you. Any comments or questions from council on this application? Any public comment? Oh, you have to come up to the podium. Oh, okay.
So the actual time for people to be there for the ceremony is 4 to 5.
Okay, thank you. Any additional public comment regarding the Torah dancing? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Barb. So now that's on public record too, 4 to 5.
Looking for a motion to approve the Halloween movie Movie in the Park, sponsored by Newtown Recreation Board on Friday, October 17th, from 6 to 9 p.m. at Linton Memorial Park with no rain date.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second?
Thank you. Any comments or questions from council? I believe the movie is Ghostbusters. I don't know which Ghostbusters it is. If it's the new remakes, the original, it'll just be a surprise for everybody. Any comments or questions from the public on this? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes.
Thank you. A motion to approve the Halloween parade sponsored by the Newtown Recreation Board on Saturday, October 25th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on a designated parade route ending at Brian S. Gregg Park with no rain date.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from council on this? Any public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes.
Thank you. A motion to approve the tree lighting sponsored by the Newtown Experience Group on Friday, December 5th, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Newtown Fire Association on Liberty Street. There is no rain date.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from council on this? Any public comment? Come on up, Nicole.
Thank you. We were able to talk to Chief and the Walk Friendly group. So last year, there was some pedestrian safety issues at the crosswalk by the church. So I want to give a shout out to Walk Friendly Newtown because they did say that they will help us and provide at least 2 people there to walk people during the event. So I think that'll make it extra safe. And Chief and I went through that process as well, as far as there was a slight problem with people pulling up. So we're going to maybe add some cones to make sure that where the yellow line is, that no one can park there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nicole. Any additional public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Last motion to approve the Hanukkah lighting sponsored by Lubavitch of Bucks County on Sunday, December 21st, 4 to 5:30 p.m. on State Street between Green Street and Washington Avenue with no rain date.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from council on this application? Any public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Just some special event reminders. The Newtown Library Company's 5K is Saturday, October 4th, 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m., beginning and ending at 114 Center Avenue along a designated race route, no rain date. Additionally, Market Day, sponsored by the Newtown Historic Association, is also on Saturday, October 4th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., setup beginning at 7 a.m. The rain date is Sunday, October 5th. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Burke. Before we move on from your report and this special events topics, I did want to fill council in that Chief and I received an email from Jen Nickel, the organizer of the Haunted Hustle. Part of her original application that we approved did not include the use of the Borough Hall parking lot, but she is now expecting, based off of registrations, a lot more families and a lot more kids. And so she is asking if they can use the Borough Hall parking lot space to put up a few tents and have the post-race, like donuts and drinks there, no food trucks, won't need power. She also her thought was to like have a roped off area from the door of Secondson over there, but I don't think we should rope off the sidewalk. I think we'll just put like a barrier at the entrance to the Borough Hall parking lot. So I'm not sure, Greg, if this is something we need to vote on. We already approved the application, but the use of borough property was not included in that.
Typically, great question.
I stumped you.
Just amend the
Just
motion.
caught me off guard for a second. Does change the scope of the application, so I probably would recommend that we take an amended vote. When is the event?
It's the Haunted Hustle. And it's not on the agenda, so,
Well, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Is it feasible to?
we can do it at the October
At the
work session. Yeah, that's
I think that
before
would be
the,
appropriate, just to
Okay.
be thorough and consistent, considering it is expanding the scope and
Yeah.
using borough property.
that's, my thought was the borough property, yeah. So I think I spoken with everybody and we're all okay with it. So I will let her know that, and I'll let her know that we're just gonna have to vote to amend it at the October work session, but that she can plan on being able to use it, and she can coordinate with Chief to get the parking lot blocked off. Okay, all right. Thank you, everybody. Now we can move on from that to Greg, Solicitor's report.
Solicitor report, I did not get to say my standard line since we did not have a work session of our solicitor was provided to council at the beginning of the month. But there are two particular items under the solicitor's report for this meeting. The first is and I'm going to just discuss them together before I ask for motions from council on these. We had discussed previously the intergovernmental cooperation agreement with the township regarding the pedestrian bridge. As part of the Intergovernmental Cooperation Act, it requires council to pass a resolution authorizing the execution of the intergovernmental agreement itself. So the first item for council's consideration is the resolution 9-16, 2025, which goes through the recital of the purposes of the intergovernmental agreement and authorizes the execution of it. Then the second item is the authorization of the intergovernmental agreement itself, which has been thoroughly reviewed. We did, this was incorporate the final comments from Craig and Julia and that were accepted by the township. And they it was communicated that they intend to approve this at their meeting on the 24th of September, so before the end of the month. And I think that sets us up to move this forward. Maybe a little behind when we thought it would be, but still in plenty of time to use the grant monies and further the project. So we have to take these one at a time. So I guess the first would ask council for a motion to adopt resolution 9-16, 2025, authorizing the execution of the pedestrian bridge intergovernmental agreement with Newtown Township.
So moved.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from council on this motion? Any public comment? Please come up to the podium.
I really just have a question. My name is Richard First. I'm over here on North State. So where is this pedestrian bridge supposed to be located?
You want me to answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this bridge will span Newtown Creek from where Frost Lane enters, hits Edgeboro Drive, crosses the creek over to the township, and comes out right opposite Durham Road, which is next to I think it's the Penn Community Bank on that side.
Okay, so it's going to be a completely new bridge, not a rebuilding of the old.
Correct, correct. It'll be right next to those old piers. The original idea a couple of years ago was to see if we could build on the old bridge piers, but further investigation determined that that was not the best idea, and it would be best to put a new bridge next to it, and then you'll be able to see them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Julia. Any additional public comment?
Sorry, back to the parade.
So this is just public comment for this, and we'll take additional public comment at the end. This is just for this motion.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Thank you. I know, I don't even know all of Robert's rules anymore. Okay, any additional public comment on this motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Motion passes.
Now I'd ask council for a motion to enter into the intergovernmental agreement with Newtown Township regarding the engineering and construction of the pedestrian bridge.
So moved.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from council? Any public comment on this motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Thanks, Greg.
All for me. Thank you so much.
All right, moving on to manager's report. Greg?
Okay, thank you. The first item I have is to sort of housekeeping around the police and the non-uniforms pension fund. This is something we do every year so that we can prepare in next year's budget for the contributions to the both of those pension plans. So that is on here for a motion for both of them. For the non-uniform plan, it is $16,051, and for the police pension plan, it's $70,368. This, of course, the minimum amount. It could be higher.
So, I'll take any motion from someone.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 pension minimum municipal obligation in the amount of $16,051 for the non-uniform pension plan.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from council? I just have a clarification. Because this is the minimum, we can still add on, right? We're not beholden to the minimum number. This is just allowing us to get it in the budget at the minimum amount at this time.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any comments or questions from the public on this? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Okay, I'll entertain a motion for the police pension plan.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 pension minimum municipal obligation in the amount of $70,368 for the police pension plan.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any comments or questions from council on this motion? Any public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Okay, moving on to the rest of the non-motion report.
Okay, the first of a couple more items I have is just to alert council and the various boards and commissions and other organizations in the borough of the schedule for the 2026 budget planning, which will begin in earnest. I've begun working on that, but at the next committee and council meetings, we'll be talking about that. So we'll set aside time and schedule for that, and that is laid out in the memo that was in the folder.
And we'll make sure all the public budget meetings are on the website if they're not already.
But the next item is the address of 35 South Chancellor. There were some documents and visuals in the folder. Has applied successfully through HARB for some work back in 2021. One of the things that is just for council's approval is for the material of a driveway egress. This is a driveway that they're putting in off of Chancellor Street, and there are bricks that are used around the rest of their property along a walkway. They will be procuring the same shape and style of brick and would like to use that for their driveway apron. And that is in your packets. And that is so I think the next step appropriately is to, if that's acceptable, council would make a motion to approve that shape and style of brick. And I don't know if the property owner is here to add to that
Yeah.
or has, okay.
I think because it's on the agenda, we can make a motion, right? Okay. Would someone like to entertain a motion?
Everybody's looking at me here. Okay.
You're the pro.
Okay, and so, and the reason that we have to do this is because it's not a standard driveway material, and therefore council needs to approve it. I'll make a motion to approve the use of brick pavers. Is that what they want to use? Brick pavers for the driveway for 35 South Chancellor Street.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any additional comments or questions from council?
Yes, I would recommend that we add the same descriptors that were used in presenting this with respect to the shape and size and style and color of the material.
Chris, would it be acceptable just
As
to say
presented.
in the materials presented?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to amend your?
I'll amend the motion, sure.
Okay.
Okay, to add that the bricks will be those depicted in the materials presented.
Gina, you have to amend your second.
Second.
Okay. Any additional comments or questions from council? Any public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes.
Great. Okay, the next item is, there is a annual Pico Green Region grant cycle, which is about, in general, themes for projects around open space. And there is something that sort of fits very well that we've moved along over the last year, which is the 110 South State Street, North State Street Land Development Project, where we secured an easement along the Newtown Creek, north and adjacent to the Newtown Creek and north of the Common. And so I would like to ask council or give you, I think, understand that this is something we'd want to work on. A resolution would follow at the fully committing our application. But if there's no objections, I would like to get started on a grant application to develop or to do design and planning for, which would be the next step. That development project is likely to be happening over the next year, so the timing would be that when that is underway, we may be able to actually be in there and essentially expand the park northward from the Commons about, I think I measured around 60, 70 feet, which is essentially the deep backyard of 110 North State. The grant, it does have it's a $10,000 grant, but it would go far towards some of the design and engineering. The borough would need to match an additional $10,000. So we'd have, if awarded, we would put out an RFP for design and concept and designing that for a $20,000 contract for an engineering consultant to do that work. I think that's about so I don't think we have to make a motion. We would do the resolution, but I just want to know if there's any issues with moving that forward.
I'm fine with that. Good.
Great.
Okay.
The last item is we have here borough lamppost banner discussion. And I see Nicole is here to maybe assist with this discussion. The borough was approached by the Newtown Experience to come up with some plan for the future erection of banners that would hang from the lampposts. I know this has happened in the past, and there's been different events that have been featured. And the Newtown Experience had a plan to use those banner apparatus to occupy more seasonal or neutral or some kind of a palette that would be a cycle to be used for them. They are obviously owned by the borough. They're not Pico poles, they're ours. The apparatus it's unclear who put that, paid for and put the apparatus up. I understand there was a past agreement or authorization to the Mercantile Group, and that organization is defunct, is my understanding. I looked for any kind of an agreement controlling the banner use, and so what to do, and we're here to have a discussion. I had a brief discussion with the solicitor about, what's the best way to handle this, whether we just continue on approving them each time they want to put a new banner up, or if we can enter some kind of an agreement or a lease of the hardware that holds the banners. So that is where it is. So I'm looking for some guidance on where to go next with that.
I mean, I think, it's been piecemeal in the past as long as I've been on council. If someone wanted to put something up there, they came and they applied. Well, they didn't even apply. They just showed us what they wanted to put up, and we either agreed with it or didn't agree with it. The last time I remember being was the Hometown Heroes banners that are up there now, that have been up there, I think, longer than they were supposed to be. Because, we really don't have someone on council that is the watchdog of the lamppost banners. So my feeling is if the Newtown Experience Group wants to take on the organization of the banners on those lampposts, as long as we are aware of what they're putting up before they put it up, if that's something they want to take on to kind of make sure State Street stays looking nice, I'm fine with that personally. But I agree, we would need to have some kind of agreement in writing.
We would need to have something formalized. I think from the time this started until now, the state of the world as well as the state of the law has changed about these type of displays. So as Craig said, probably something to explore once we determine what we want to do, of some type of potentially a lease of the facility. And I would recommend it not being something we approve on a ad hoc regular basis, but more so an ongoing arrangement. But we'll have to review the particulars of it once those conversations are had with the Newtown Experience or someone else, to ensure that we're being compliant with the state of the law and not opening up the borough to any unforeseen consequences.
Is everyone kind of, sorry, go ahead.
Just the Newtown Experience, is this what they would like to do? Be able to just on a regular basis, a seasonal basis, just come up and change them?
And am I right in picturing, at Brixmore, they have the Hello Spring, like those kinds of things?
Yeah, so I think that the conversation was not formal, but it was decided that that would be the goal, to eventually be able to have a fall, a winter, a spring, and a summer banner. We are really not interested in the poles that the veterans flags are on. That's a lot of, so I wasn't part of when that decision was made. So it really is, there's 20 poles that we currently have the flags on. Just so everyone understands, it's Harry, Betts, and I that change out the flags, when we do have current flags, but we want to make them more, I want to say generic, but now that the Newtown Experience has our website up and running, it just happened this week, the goal would be to have every borough event that is happening on a QR code for the flag, and then that way it'll look, on the one side it will be fall, and then the other side would have the Newtown Experience with a QR code. And again, we don't want to stop people from having individual flags, but as this meeting has shown today, we have so many events, and to even fathom having everyone that has an event on State Street doing their own individual flag, and seems cumbersome. So I think that that was kind of the goal of the Newtown experience, was to take some of that weight off of the shoulders of the borough, and then also, pull the community together so that there's kind of one calendar. And obviously, we're on the website, we are checking with Judy's calendar. So, and those are the events that will be listed. It's going to be events that basically have been approved by council. It's not going to be just every little thing that's happening. So we're happy to take that on, but the veterans polls, that's something that we're fine with that staying as is.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, so I think, unless anyone up here objects, I think the next step is just looking into what this would look like in terms of, from the legal standpoint.
Right.
So.
And there is a chance, we do have a design for a fall flag, so I guess we could stay with how the policy's been if we, at the next meeting, want to present you one, if we get our things together. But that's, you tell me if that's okay, because that's the way it's happened, I guess.
I think it'd be beneficial if you can coordinate with Craig, and maybe we can set up a call in the next week and a half to take a look at it and discuss it, and maybe send us over the materials, and then we can see if we can do this kind of fall approval in the October cycle, or set up something a little more.
It's okay. It's okay if it doesn't happen. The ones that are there that are up right now are fairly generic. Like, they're not very specific to an event. So it's more the spring one has a specific event. So we definitely want to change that over.
I'm not trying to make it take any longer than it has to. I just want to make sure we're doing it properly for the borough's sake and for your sake as well, and everybody's. So we can get something on the calendar if you coordinate with Craig in the next week or so, and then we can see what the timing looks like.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I don't think we're opposed to the idea. So just gotta figure out how to do it.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nicole. Okay, anything else, Craig?
That is all I have. I did submit my report if there's any questions on anything else.
Okay, I don't think so.
Well, actually, I think, Craig, you need to take a victory lap, because we did just get a grant.
Feel free to share. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, okay.
No, you applied for it.
Well, you had gave me the heads up for, we received a grant for, from the, I know it as the Bowman's Tower, but I guess.
It's at Bowman's Hill, Bowman's Wildflower.
Reserve or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, we put together a grant for, that has 3 components of public education, native plants, and stormwater, I think, or beautification anyway. And we secured a grant of 100 plants, many of which will go to, I see Mr. Sellers here, to fill in a lot of the old skunky plants that did not make it through the difficult season last year, as well as the Commons and Patriots Park. So that was submitted just a month ago, and quick turnaround, so that'll happen this season in the fall.
Great. Thank you both. Okay, so the only item I have under the president's report tonight is an update on the fire services agreement with Newtown Township. As everyone is aware, earlier this year, we notified them that we were terminating our current agreement, which ends at the end of this year, in order to have a restructured, much simpler agreement for 2026 and moving forward. Oh, excuse me. So our Fire Services Committee has been hard at work, along with Craig, who's really helped us with crunching the numbers. And on August 15th, we sent a proposal to the Newtown Township supervisors that laid out amounts that we were proposing to pay for 2026, 2027, and 2028. These numbers were based off of the realities of our revenues as a small municipality, as well as incremental and not overwhelming tax millage increases for fire services for our residents. And we proposed a fee-for-service agreement that would consist of a yearly contribution to the township in exchange for the full provision of fire services. These funds will be unrestricted and can be used by the township in a manner they see fit to fund fire services. I will point out that currently this year, we are paying $189,712. We have proposed what I think is a very reasonable increase for 2026 to $227,654. For 2027, $250,419. And for 2028, $275,484. These numbers, to be clear, will still mean that we need to take some money from the general fund to fund fire services. The tax millage increase for 2026 would be just under a mill.
The system's down. They asked that we pause our meeting for 10 minutes and while they reboot.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay. We don't have to, do we? We don't. Okay, we're not legally required to stream it, so, okay. Yeah, it's just hot in here, and I think it's hot under these. So, overall, what I suggest, what I inferred, what our Fire Services Committee inferred to the township is that we will talk with council about working on the number, but we're definitely not going to get to 275, and that we definitely want a multi-year agreement. It's beneficial, not just for us, it's beneficial for them in their planning. And it's beneficial for our residents to know what their tax increase is going to be over the next 3 years for fire services so they can plan accordingly. So the Fire Services Committee has been talking about a number to go back to them with. We haven't quite gotten there yet, but council will be informed once we do. And so that's where we are right now. Our next step is responding to their request. So if anyone has any questions.
be the borough's responsibility to replace the member, Christine, that resigned. So we are looking for that member. That's it.
Great, thank you. Okay, moving on to old business. Any announcements? I would like to announce, as I forgot to at the beginning, and Julia reminded me, that prior to this meeting, council met in executive session to discuss personnel. If there are no additional announcements, then I'll entertain public to be heard.
Sorry, y'all, I'm back to the parade. We discussed the Quakers, the Friends meeting that's about a block away from State Street. Their silent session ends at 12 noon, and we said we were going to have a push-off time of the parade at 12:30. Is that right? I'm just making sure that we're all clear. Okay. The staging time doesn't
Please enter the
matter.
conference PIN number.
No, as long as you keep, thought of the noise during staging, we're fine with staging starting at 9 o'clock as you asked.
Perfect. The closing of the street time. We typically do that about an hour before, is that right, Chief? About an hour before we actually push off from the parade, we close the street, we make sure everything's good to go.
We could cut that off a little bit. We,
Okay.
security purposes, we try to give it enough time, but we could slice down some of that time.
Hey, I'm all about security.
I'm fine with an hour. You're not cutting off all the egress points from the local places. It's just the noise thing is why. Yeah, so I'm fine with the staging, the road being closed at 11:30. That's fine.
Okay. So if it ends at noon, can we go ahead and kick it off at noon and start the parade there? If they're done with their silent,
12:30 start time.
okay, there's no way that we can start the parade in the borough. If we decide to do it in the borough and we continue it in the borough, there's no way to do it before 12:30 is what you're saying.
That's what we voted on tonight, yeah.
Okay. We can, if we have a conversation, because this is the first, we didn't get a reply to the email, so we didn't realize that you're saying a street away, they have a silent, a silent session. We didn't realize it was about noise. So you'll notice our reply was about parking, which they have a parking lot, we have ample parking, everything's okay. And if they want to attend the parade, we didn't realize your question was about noise. So is there any way that we can start this parade before 12:30, call it noon?
We voted on 12:30. If, for example, if you were to reach out to that religious organization and ask them for their input, what they thought, would they be okay with you starting at noon? Would their service be done? Would their time of silence be done? And you got them on board, we might be able to, be a little more flexible, like 12:15. But right now it stands at 12:30.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I just wanted to see if there was flexibility in that, and if you're saying if we reach out to them and they say it's okay, then we can bring it up, I guess, next.
We can discuss that. Yes.
Great, awesome, thank you.
Yep. Any additional public to be heard? Please come on up.
Hi. Regarding the pedestrian bridge, what kind of lighting? Will it be 24/7?
Okay. Do you want me to answer this?
But can you please state your name?
Eileen Dutton.
I'm sorry?
Eileen Dutton.
Okay, yeah. The final design for the bridge is not complete yet. So there will be more information about this upcoming in terms, and I know lighting is an issue.
Right.
But we have to discuss safety lighting and what, the last I heard is we were talking about downlighting like along the path so that the path is lit.
Right.
But that, but we're certainly cognizant of being in a residential neighborhood and don't want to have lighting that's going to be disturbing.
Right. And it's pedestrian, no bicycle.
It is open for bicycles, yes, but they should, but
If they're
it's a
not allowed
combination.
on sidewalks,
They are allowed on sidewalks, but e-bikes are not allowed on.
so will there be some kind of signage related to that?
We'll be working on all those details soon.
And they'll be available for public input once They're available.
And how about snow removal?
All of these things will be discussed later.
Okay.
But the maintenance of the bridge will be discussed between the borough and the township to determine what will be done in terms of snow removal and who will be responsible.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Any additional public to be heard? Okay, well then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Like to make a motion to adjourn?
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes. Thank you, everybody.